Hello, everybody. Welcome to Amazing You podcast and YouTube channels. This is the channel where stories of resilience, triumph, and unwavering hope come to life. And in each episode, we dive into the inspiring journey of individuals who have faced the toughest challenges heads on and emerged victorious. Our aim is to be a beacon of inspiration, offering a guiding light to those navigating through difficult times. And whether you are dealing with health challenges, professional setbacks, or personal struggles, this channel is dedicated to uplifting your spirit and showing you that even in the darkest moments, there is a path to hope and triumph. So join us, everyone, as we share powerful stories that transcend adversity, reminding you that resilience is a force within us all. So be prepared to be inspired and to find the strength to navigate life challenges. I am your host. My name is Dr. Rani Thanacoody. I am a clinical hypnotherapist using rapid transformational therapy method. I am a Mars Venus life and relationship coach, breathwork coach, astrologer, tarot reader, past life regression practitioner, and life force compassion practitioner. And I would like to say a huge thank you to the audience for watching, sharing, listening, supporting the podcast and the YouTube channels for the past 4 years. Thank you so much. And please continue to do so. And if you are new today, welcome to the podcast and the YouTube channels. I'm very happy to have you. And please share and subscribe and like. That will really support the channels and the algorithm to get more people to listen to it and to watch it. And if you want to connect with me, feel free to go to my website, which is drranithanacoody.com, and you can find a lot of free resources. And if you need any help on coaching, hypnotherapy, tarot reading, and all these other modalities, feel free to contact me directly. There's a link there. You can get free resources, my book chapter, and I'll be very happy to talk to you. And let me get back now to our wonderful guest who is here all the way from the States, a very, very special lady that I have the pleasure to introduce you all. Her name is Karen Bonnett-Natraj. She's a mental, fitness, and performance coach. Karen is a dedicated coach who guides leaders, athletes, and high-achieving professionals towards peak performance, mental fitness, and holistic well-being. Very warm welcome, Karen, to Amazing You.
Oh, Rani, thank you so much for having me here. I'm just very excited to share this time with you. So thank you so much.
You are very welcome. I am very honored to have you on the podcast and the YouTube channel. And I'm very, very grateful that you are taking your time. I know how busy you are, that you are taking that time to talk to the audience. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And I love the idea. Let's inspire your audience.
Yes, please. Every person who comes has a beautiful story to inspire. And I know yours is going to be even more inspirational. So let's get started. Let's kick in with the first question that I have for you.
Thank you.
Is Karen, would you please share a bit about your own personal journey that led you to become a coach focused on peak performance, mental fitness, and holistic well-being?
It's a huge, great question. So, for the transformation of my life, I came from a very toxic relationship. And I was doing everything in my power to make him happy, transform him, make him a great person, have a family, have a husband. And I had 3 kids prior to meeting him. And so it's just having a family for my kids. But the more I tried to fix, I lost myself. Mm-hmm. And it came to a crashing head when I realized I had to do a restraining order on this person for me to finally find the peace in my life. And in doing that, I had to realize no one's going to save me. I had to save myself. And in that came the devastation of what do I do next? And so I really dove into, oh my gosh, books and support groups and whatever I could do to finally look at me. Because there's more inside of me. If I could do all this help for somebody else, I have to do it for myself. And so that really led me onto this path of self-discovery. And what I discovered too was how I connected with people and how I inspired other people. And I took on a life that I never knew I had, never knew existed. And that life was my athletic journey. So I'm an ultra distance runner, cyclist, swimmer, and I've accomplished so many events in the past number of years that I would have been blown away if you ever told me I would do that 30 years ago. And so today I am an accomplished athlete, but I passed this message and the support, and I became a life coach, which I turned that into really being that mental fitness coach, because it's really about that connection between our mind and body and finding that our inner self, finding our soul purpose, finding the inner love that we really have for ourselves. Because we can have love and try to fix. I was out there thought I loved this person and trying to fix them. But if I didn't really love myself, how could I really love somebody else? And so when we can come past those negative thoughts in our mind, our negative stories we tell ourselves in our mind, and one of the biggest one is our inner critic. And when we recognize how much we beat ourselves up and turn that around into a powerful, empathetic, curiosity, innovative way, our life can be changed into possibilities we never knew existed. And so today I've completed close to 50 100-mile runs. I've completed 15 Ironmans. I've biked hundreds of thousands of miles. And that inspiration and the people I meet out there really have helped transform other people's lives into creating a life on their own terms, but with joy and happiness in their heart.
Wow, what a journey. Thank you so much, Karen, for sharing that. Because it took you a lot of courage to get out of that relationship, I'm sure, because it's not easy when you are in that kind of relationship. And how long were you in that relationship before meeting?
Okay, so I think I was in that relationship for 5 to 6 years. Mm-hmm. And, he was exciting. We had a lot of fun together, but then he had this other side of him that was very mean and nasty. Right. And yeah, it took me to where I heard myself. And so in that scenario of how that happened was I was driving back and forth to work, and I was picking up a coworker. Mm-hmm. She and I were working at the Wallapai tribe. We were working at a tribal nation. And she was telling me these stories about her sister in a horrible relationship, and I'm giving all this wonderful advice. Until one day, I heard myself. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm giving this person advice that I need that advice. Mm-hmm. And so it was really was that scary day. I had to file a restraining order, and I left work, and I'm driving in a 45-mile-an-hour zone, going 80. Mm-hmm. And totally unaware of what was going on around me until the police siren behind me pulled me over. And the minute he said, "Ma'am, do you know how fast you were going?" It was like a volcano erupted, and I could not stop crying. I was just bawling, and I kind of scared him, but I didn't mean to. But I was so uncontrollable. I mean, we get so caught up in that toxicity that we lose touch with ourself. And we lose touch with that yeah, we lose touch with that inner self of our knowing, and we give all of this, and we keep telling ourselves everything's okay, everything's going to be fine, but we're not really looking at the truth. And I wasn't looking at the truth. And so, yeah, I had to do that. And then it was like, what do I do now? So, and we did. The kids and I moved up. I had three kids, three young kids, and I packed up and we moved back. We were living in Arizona. We moved back to California. Started a whole new life. And then that life, if I didn't make that choice, and one of the things I teach is the sage perspective that in every situation or circumstance, there's a gift or opportunity. Who would have thought there was an opportunity at that time?
Yeah.
I didn't know, but that opportunity, that choice I made, brought me to where I am today and the people that I get to serve and the people I get to meet like you and share that story and inspire somebody else to like, yes, we can speak and we can step into our truth. We can step into the truth of who we are.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love your journey, and it's such an inspiring journey because I'm sure today, listening and watching, there will be many people, many women who are in that situation that you've been.
Yep.
And they don't know what to do. So, what would you like to tell them today? What suggestion do you have for them today if they
There's a lot of fear that we hold. There's a lot of, when we're in those type of situations, and especially women, and finding support groups, finding groups that you can click with, finding people you can connect with. And it was hard because we're so ashamed. We're so much into that shame and guilt. Like, and that was the guilt I held on to was, oh my gosh, I was getting a divorce and I couldn't hold a marriage together. And so there's a lot of shame behind that. There's a lot of guilt, but we don't have to be shame. And so one of the books I read was Healing the Shame That Binds You. Powerful. For me, that was powerful. But it led me to finding support groups and finding people to talk to. And I had a lot of strength, so I kept finding books to read and finding people to talk to, and then venturing deeper into myself, journaling daily on really what's in my heart. And it's amazing what comes out that can go onto paper that really leaves us, leaves our minds, leaves our bodies. And it took me, it's going to take me forever. So I'm still on that journey. You know, I'm in a completely different place, but still our life is a journey, and it just we don't just get a high school diploma, college degree, we get married. That's not just life. The whole thing is a journey. And we just it stops when we stop, but into that path, it's just a journey. And I dedicate my life to me getting to be the best version of myself so I can be the best version for my clients and for the people I work with.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Karen, for sharing all that. Because this is going to, I am sure, help a lot of women. Because when we are in those situations, in those toxic situations, we have a tendency to isolate ourselves and we feel very lonely. And like you said, making that step to connect with groups, to find people to talk to, and that is very, very enlightening and help us to find the support, to find ways to come out, to see ourselves from a different view. Because when we are in those relationships, we do experience a lot of shame, a lot of blame, shame, guilt. Yes. So thank you so much for sharing all that. And I do hope it helped anybody who needs help today and who is listening.
I do too. And is it okay if I add something to that just came to my mind?
Please. Yeah.
So I remember going into my first group meeting and sitting back there in the corner and afraid, full of shame. But then as I listened to these other women, I became more and more comfortable. And it took me quite a few meetings before actually I spoke up. And what I found in them was the strength of where they started from and came to. And they're there to help support the newbies that show up. And then we can just keep passing that on. And it gave me the safety I needed and the camaraderie, the trust, and I was able to say my story. And when we can put ourselves in that situation of being slightly vulnerable, that's when we grow the most. When we can actually speak up for ourselves and say that story.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Karen. Your journey is so inspiring. There's so much to ask you, and the time is very limited. So I'll keep on asking you the other questions more now, a bit about what you do. And you said that you help coaches. You are a coach. So looking at your bio, you said that your coaching goes beyond traditional coaching methods, where you emphasize on mental fitness, emotional mastery. So, how do you, Karen, define mental fitness, and why is it so important in today's world?
Love that. So mental fitness is your ability to have a positive mindset rather than a negative mindset in any situation or circumstance. And how do you do that? How can we say that? So it's a program based on positive intelligence, which is created through 4 areas of science: and neuroscience, the cognitive performance science, positive psychology, and neuroscience itself. And this is all knowledge based, but when change actually happens is when we can embody that knowledge. And what is taught, I have a 6-week mental fitness boot camp, and what is taught is our ability to just be in the present moment for 1 minute, 2 minutes, scattered through the day, and when we learn to do that, we rewire our brain. And the point of doing that is catching those negative situations that go on in our thoughts, catching that and shifting into the present moment and just doing a little moment of mindfulness. And there's a lot of tools that I teach with that, simple tools. And so then when we recognize those thoughts, and in the program, you learn what those thoughts are. One of them is our inner critic. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I can't do this. And then that inner critic has these, and which is great because you kind of have a name for them, these 9 saboteurs. And so some of them are like we avoid situations, or we become a victim of our situation. I was a complete victim of my situation. And then the controller, or a hyperachiever, or a hypervigilant, or an avoider. And so these are things, the inner critic starts it with a negative, I can't do that, but then a saboteur shows up, and then it's our actions that hold us back. So the avoider is not going to get wrapped up into conversations. The controller wants to control every situation. He never listens to anybody. And then the pleaser, I was certainly the pleaser. We get into relationships and we want to make everybody happy at the cost of our own happiness. And then we become a victim because now I'm like, I've done everything for everybody, and now poor me, nobody does anything for me. And so it's those negative emotions, and what the actions that come with that is what the program identifies. And we all have kind of our top sabotaging thoughts and actions. And then we learn the sage perspective, which I stated yesterday, is that just a few minutes ago, that every situation or circumstance can be turned into a gift or opportunity. And that comes with 5 sage powers. And that's what we incorporate in our life. We learn to empathize with ourselves. We learn to empathize with others. We become curious. Remember when we were kids, we were so curious in life and playful and whatnot. We bring that back into our adulthood. We can still play and be curious as an adult. We become creative with our ideas. And then we step into our values and our purpose by navigating through our life. And then you can look at the 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, and what does your life want to look like? Who do you want to be when you show up there? And we can change that from today. But it's mostly the mental mindset shifts that we do daily that can rewire the brain, because we're naturally wired to be based on fear. And that's just natural. Look at the whole world, what goes on right now. Even me as a parent, We want to protect our kids. Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. And the kid gets this message. Oh, I shouldn't do that. I can't do that. Not, they don't understand that. And a lot of these behaviors were created when we were kids. And it's out of that protection of being seeking to feel loved and secure. But when we grow up, they become our saboteurs. And so it's rewiring the brain. And I do, and even you guys, nobody can see this, but I know even for myself, I'm a completely different mindset and person than I was 5 years ago before I started my own program. And so I found the power in it to where the mastery of it, for me, is the mastery I want to share with everybody else.
Thank you so much, Karen. Yes, it's very accurate what you said. It's a lot to do with our self-talk, how we talk to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And we learn that from a very young age by the conditioning around us, how we've been programmed. And we start to then talk negatively to ourselves. And then we think negatively as well. We start to think negative thoughts, and then we start to have all sorts of anxiety and fears and all sorts of things come up, and then we can't move forward. That's
Right.
what happened. It's
Mm-hmm.
a lot to do, like you said, with the mindset. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned building inner strength earlier through practical tools. So would you like to share some examples of the tools or exercises that you use with your clients?
Oh,
Think
that's
simple.
super, super sweet. I'll make it real easy.
Okay.
So real easy. If you just take 2 fingers and rub them together, and then just focus on the ridges on your finger. Don't think of anything else. Just bring your focus to the ridges on your fingers. Is it rough? Is it smooth? Is it warm? Is it cold? Just pay attention to the sensations and let go of all your thoughts and bring only your focus to the ridges of your fingers. And so that can just be a minute. And you can do that in a stressful meeting. You can do that when you're in a heated conversation with somebody. And it makes allows you the permission to stop for a minute. You just put your fingers in your lap and you start rubbing the fingers together, or put your hands in your lap and start rubbing your fingers together. And you don't have to close your eyes. You don't have to do anything, but you can take your focus just into the fingertips. And what do you feel? Like I said, is it rough? Is it smooth? Is it warm? Is it cold? And so there's many other things you can do, and a lot of it has to do with focusing on sensations in your body. You can also just feel the weight of your body sitting in a chair, and just feel that sensation, and you become more in tune with your body. But you're also bringing your mind into the present moment. Because when you're in a stressful situation, you're either fearing what's going to happen, which you don't know, or regretting what happened in the past, or already making judgments on the other person where you're really not listening to them. And so it's bringing yourself in the present moment. And what's going to happen is you're going to respond a lot more calmer. Because when you can stop that thoughts in your head for just a minute, you start rewiring the brain, and you'll have more insight of what the possibilities are, as opposed to coming from fear and coming from judgment, coming from that sabotaging thought process.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Karen, for sharing these 2 exercises. And one of them, I tried to just rub my 2 fingers together, and it really helps to bring back to the present moment and forget everything, any worry, any other things that I was thinking of. So thank you. And I hope the audience, please use these tools. These are very simple, very easy to put in your daily life, and very grateful for you, Karen, for sharing that.
Thank you so much for allowing me to do that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. There's so many things to ask you, and I've got a few more questions, and I'm going to go fast. I've got one question I want you to share with the audience. What are some of your own daily practices for maintaining mental fitness and holistic well-being, Karen?
I love that question. My daily practice, first off, is the minute I wake up, I ask myself, what am I grateful for? And the simplest thing is I'm breathing. And then I listen to a PQ coaching focus for the day. And then I listen to a 15-minute meditation. And the meditation involves me connecting with my heart and then writing in my journal. So there's a lot of power when we can and in the early morning when we're not so rushed in the day, just start your moment off with just a moment of gratitude and maybe a little bit of journaling or a little meditation. And we don't have to meditate for hours and hours and hours to find that inner peace. The inner peace comes when we practice those little 1 moment, 1 minute tools, just rubbing your fingers, feeling your seat on the floor. And so you practice that all day long, and you'll be amazed of how the next day will show up.
Thank you. I love that you shared that because I always start my day with gratitude and some meditation before doing anything else. So I think it's very important.
Mm-hmm.
And what has these practices brought into your life doing them on a daily basis, Karen?
I find myself, and the one situation I think most people challenge with is maybe their personal relationship, their intimate relationship, our partners. And every now and then I kind of like, oh, wow, attitude for myself is that I would have responded in a defensive way in the past, but I don't have to today. And sometimes I don't even have to respond. But I know that the feeling I have inside is just this peace and calm. And I did that. It was about a month ago. I honestly do not remember what it was he said, but I just sat there. I'm like, I feel great right now. I don't have to pick up his stuff. We don't have to pick up other people's judgments and all that. But we can still stay in the peace and calm. And the fact that I just naturally did that showed the power of what I've been doing for the past 5 years of now responding in a very positive, peaceful way by doing nothing sometimes.
I agree. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yes, it's in the stillness that is the power, It's not in struggling and in fighting that the power comes, but the more still you are, it means how you've been able to to balance your internal state,
Yep.
Yes, it's
Yes.
controlling your internal state. Yes, yeah. Thank you, Karen. And my last question to you is, what's next for you in your career as a coach? And do you have any new projects, programs, goals that you are excited about?
I do. And I still continue my mental fitness boot camp, and then anybody can join that. And the other transition in my life was when I actually left my job, retired from my job to become a coach, and what that transition looked like. So now I have this vision of working with women 50 plus type A personalities that are high ranking in their success professionally, raised their family, done everything that they're supposed to do. Then their kids leave and they wake up going, what's next? What now? And create a powerful group of 12 women to go on this journey of complete transformation. And at the end of that journey, I envision a beautiful retreat for everybody. So I'm super excited about that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I wish you a lot of success in doing that. And I'm sure it will be very successful because now that we are talking to each other, I know of women whose children have left the nest and now they feel completely empty. They feel like crying. They are crying every day. They don't know what to do. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the opportunity for them
Mm-hmm.
to turn their focus on them and inside of them, you know. So what you are doing, I'm sure a lot of women need that at that point of their life in their 50s. That's a very good time where they can start to focus back again on themselves, because they've been focusing the whole life on the family
Mm-hmm.
and forgotten themselves. So I'm sure it will be a great success.
Thank
And
you.
you're welcome. And how can everybody reach out to you and stay updated with you,
I
Karen?
do have my website. It's themindfulathletecoach.com. And my email is the same, but it's themindfulathletecoach@gmail.com. And so on my website, you can contact me as well. But it would be a blessing if anybody hears this and is inspired or just would like to have a chat with me. It'd be great to have you contact me, and I'd be more than grateful to speak with you.
Thank you so much for sharing your website. It will appear below on the video, and it will also appear in your bio on the podcast and on the YouTube. So anybody, please feel free to reach out to Karen. And do you have any free gifts that you would like that is on your website that people can access? Are there any free gifts?
Actually, there is a free gift on my website. So,
Okay,
yes, just on the home page, just click on that free gift and enjoy.
fantastic. So that's great. Karen, it's been a pleasure talking to you today. And do you have any final words, any final thoughts you would like to share to the audience?
Thank you. We don't need to live in stress. There's so much that's out there that makes us stressful, that there's more peace and joy in our life that's really deep inside of us. It has the right to come out. So honor yourself and let's make this happen.
That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Karen, for sharing those final words. And I wish you a lot of success with your podcast as well. We forgot to mention that you are the host of a podcast. So well done. Congratulations. And thank you for taking the time to be with the audience. Thank you to
Thank.
the audience as well for
Mm-hmm.
watching, for sharing, and subscribing. And would you like to say a few words?
I was going to tell you thank you. Thank you,
Oh,
Ronnie, for having me. I really appreciate this time I got to spend with you and hopefully to inspire your audience.
thank you. Thank you. I'm very, very honored and very grateful, Karen, for your time today and your knowledge, your journey. Thank you. And also, I would like to tell the audience to always remember that you are amazing. You have always been amazing, and you always will be amazing. So, thank you, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you soon for another episode. Bye bye, everybody.